Hello, darlings. It's Violet Nocturne here, your guide to the shadows that cling to the edges of your comfort. The elegant decay, the heartbeats beneath the horror. Tonight, I hold a question for you. What do you do when the very thing meant to protect you becomes the trap you cannot escape? Perhaps you should sit down for this, for what lies beneath your skin might not be what you think. Dim the lights and clutch your breath. We're about to explore a tale I've titled Beneath the Skin. Her name was Sandra, a sculptor by trade, living in a once thriving seaside town that had started to rot from the inside out, just as she had. However, you wouldn't know it from the outside. Sandra was radiant, her hands deft and artistic, crafting beauty from marble and clay. To the world, she had it all. But within the alabaster cage of her body, something was stirring, gnawing, waiting. You see, Sandra had a secret. For years, she had suffered from bouts of sudden, inexplicable pain burning through her chest like a brand. Doctors shrugged it off as stress. She excused it as the cost of her toils. But the truth, it was more sinister than anyone could have imagined. Sandra's desperation led her to the esoteric. Herbal remedies first. Then chance said to summon health. But it was when she stumbled upon an ancient tome tucked away in the back aisle of an abandoned bookstore, leather-bound and sickly sweet with decay, that her fate took a turn irreversibly dark. Altesse d'Hermé was the title. Translation: Beyond the Skin. The pages carried confessions of an old, dark world, ritualistic treatments that promised to rid Sandra of the clawing agony within. Desperate, she prepared herself for one specific healing hidden in the book's final tattered pages. All it needed, the tome whispered, was skin shed from her own body. Only enough to remember where you came from. It started because she believed it was harmless. A small scrape, a narrow ribbon lifted from her forearm with her sculpting knife. Painful, but necessary, she thought. The book requested she mix it with oils incredibly hard to acquire and chant an ancient phrase, Memor et captis. Remember and accept. The first night, she slept better than she had in years. The second, she no longer felt the fiery torment wrapping her ribcage. And by the morning of the third day, Sandra no longer recognized her reflection. You see, darlings, the body is not what it seems. Beneath every layer you endure, it holds a secret. What lay healed beneath Sandra's skin was not a scar, but a new texture, an intricacy, and a movement. She desperately avoided people out of embarrassment, working until nights bled into mornings, the sculpting knife trembling in her now steady hand. Yet shadows seemed to follow her wherever she went, even when alone. No matter how radiant her self-carved vessel had become, she felt eyes, resentful and ancient. By day 7, Sandra's skin turned translucent in the moonlight. The world beneath, pulsating, alive, was anything but human. Blue-gray figures seemed to ripple and shift just under her surface. Every time she tore away a strip as the book demanded, new beings emerged. They began to crowd her insides. She felt them whisper into the hollow of her heart during damp nights, words she could not sink out of her thoughts by dawn. Was she their sanctuary, or their prisoner? By the end of her 15th day, Sandra could feel their hunger. Some secrets are better left untouched, love. She stared harder into her reflection and saw them. Dozens. Grotesque, malformed faces, heads tilted as if mocking, eyes fixated on their jailer, born from her labor, forged inside her grief. Sandra wasn't sculpting anymore. They were. She bled willingly now as her flesh dwindled, yet craving obedience she could not resist. The final line scribbled into her journal, "Oh, what a treasure that was," is etched forever into my mind. I never realized the prison was built to keep me in. Darling, what happens when the barrier between ourselves and our tormentors becomes fine as mist? Sandra discovered too late that her sanctuary was their creation. Do you ever look past your mirror's surface? Lean closer tonight. Peer. Pray. Because what's beneath is always waiting. And so, my dear travelers of the void, thank you for allowing me to guide you through Sandra's sinister descent. Remember, beauty comes at a cost, and no protection is permanent. I am Violet Nocturne, and this has been Echoes of the Dark. Sweet dreams, if they'll have you.